everybody, I'm the Bacuminator,
I'm Buster.
and this week in Toku, we're going to be talking about the Ultraman Holiday Stream, P Bandai fuckery, and W's across the board in the new releases. But before all that, Buster, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I am currently eating snacks. Like I have some beef jerky, so I'm pretty happy with that. Kind of been a weird week, but you know what? I'm here. That's a great week of Tokusatsu to talk about. How are you doing, Mr. Vacuminator?
I'm alright. It's cold as fuck here, and that's like, it's a bit of a change. Last year it was actually kind of warm around this time of year, but there's a huge cold front that's moving in from the Canadas that's affecting all of us here in the States, actually. So I'm actually bundled up real tight as I'm recording this, and it's having the adverse effect of making me feel a little cold, but or making me feel a little sleepy. So apologize if I slur my words or say stupid shit during this episode. But on the bright side, there's literally nobody working in my building besides me. It's like me and one maintenance guy who's putting in new water fountains while everybody's gone. So I literally spent most of today watching Jetman and big long YouTube videos I'd been putting off in the actual teachers' offices.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you watched a lot of Jetman.
I did. I watched like 5 or 6 episodes actually.
Yeah, like you're more than halfway done, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a hot minute. But before everything else, do us a big favor and support Modular Media. You know what? We're coming up on the end of the year. It'd be real nice to have a little nice burst in numbers. So give this video a like. Comment down below with some of your thoughts on whatever happened this week in Tokusatsu. Subscribe and ring that bell in order to enable notifications and get every podcast we upload, as well as other content delivered right to your inbox. There's, of course, this show where we discuss everything Tokusatsu every week. There's the No Prize podcast, where we discuss everything in Marvel and general comics news and releases within the week. And there's Components, where we just hang out and shoot the shit every week. And there's the Modular Summit content, which is still coming out. We just had Boingo's lecture on Marvel Comics drop last week. And tomorrow, my lecture on the original Code Lyoko animated series is going to be dropping. So you won't want to miss that. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell. And yeah, that's it for plug-in shit. So why don't we go ahead and get into the news? First up, just a few little photographs, because the Gamera versus Godzilla short film happened. Remember that? That was nice. Hey, you want to see some cool photos of how they made it? Those are available.
I want to see how everything is made.
Yeah, I love the forced perspective explanation photo they have for like that final explosion. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, after when I went to go see Godzilla vs Mechagodzilla, and they had that lasty Godzilla day, and how they made it. I'm very fascinated by the behind the scenes of Tokusatsu and just all sorts of filmmaking, especially with this detail. It's whoa, it just goes so nutty, you know?
Oh yeah, whenever stuff like that drops, I always take a minute out of my day to study it intently, and this was no exception.
Yeah. It really shows that, man, if they make a Godzilla movie with a full budget one with these techniques instead of just shorts, I would be in heaven.
Oh yeah.
Transcend. I know. I know they did it in the old days, but a newer, you know?
Oh yeah. Hopefully that new movie that they're working on in Japan will have practical effects.
Yeah.
But
as much as I like Shin, it would be nice to go back to the roots, especially probably the first proper Reiwa era.
Need some Suitmation up in this bitch.
Yeah.
But there's also a new Premium Bandai figure coming that's Godzilla related. I can't tell what exactly it is because I'm not a Godzilla expert. It's kind of like a teaser image of a shape under some water graphics. Maybe y'all recognize it. Maybe you don't.
Sorry.
It looks like a worm with wings. That's what I'm getting.
We will find out next week.
Probably. And hey, it's that time of the week, everybody. There's new Godzilla shirts, and these ones are really shitty. I actually hate these like screen printed PNG kind of shirts.
It looked like you know in streaming services that have like wallpaper to represent movie. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, like this doesn't even look like the shit you'd find at Walmart. This looks like the shit you'd find at like Bargain Outlet Ross.
Oh, 100%.
I'm not wearing this.
Yeah, same.
But that's it for Godzilla news. Let's go ahead and move into some Ultraman news. First and foremost, what's his name?
Takumi Sato.
Yeah, it's right here. I'm sorry. I was looking at the tweet. We got a special message from Takumi Sato, the star of Shin Ultraman, in regards to the upcoming Fathom event. And it's literally just him saying, hey, I'm the guy from the movie. I think we made a good movie. I'm excited you're going to get to see it. Please be excited with me.
Yeah, and also, like, another thing that's not really on the document, a bunch of the dub actors got announced. And I actually know a lot of the dub actors from other roles, so that's neat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to grab that, because I don't give a shit about dubs.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I know you don't care. Like, it was neat to see, like, freaking people like Kellen Joff and the guy who voiced Dimitri Fire Emblem, like, they're gonna be in a tokusatsu thing. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm most likely gonna see the dub because, I already saw it, so.
I still need to reserve my ticket. I'm probably going to do that on Friday, but very, very much looking forward to seeing the proper version, the subtitle with the original audio in theaters on the big screen. It'll be cool.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. I hope you do.
I'm genuinely looking forward. I liked the movie in shitty like 460p on my computer screen, so I'm sure I'll like it on the big screen.
Yeah.
But that's not all that happened for Ultraman this week. There was also the Ultra Connection holiday event that we talked about happening last week. And there's a few notable things that happened at that. First of all, they showed some behind-the-scenes footage from Ultraman Z, specifically how they made the combination sequence for King Joe's Storage Custom. And oh boy, if you like those Godzilla stills, you'll like this shit. I love that so much of this was just like dudes in green screen suits moving parts around and like old school wires on turntables. The fact that shit is still happening in tokusatsu makes me so happy.
Yeah, and it's like Tsuburaya probably consistently has the best effects of any of the big three shows. Like, even Toei still has some good stuff, but like Tsuburaya, if you want some peak high quality stuff, you go to them. And like this just shows like what they're still dedicated to the craft. And, like, yeah, this is good shit.
Not only that, but like those classic simple techniques still work and are still worth doing. Like that one shot of the parts like turning onto wires that are like held up by a girder and a clamp. That's like something I could go make in my garage right now. And the fact that like this big, well, fairly big production is doing that for their special effects is so cool.
Yeah, like in general, like I freaking want them to do like a full behind the scenes, make it an Ultraman episode. Basically, they document every process from writing to like filming stuff. That would just so cool.
That would be like a fantastic Tsuburaya Tokusatsu fan club special.
Yeah, like Ultraman Connection is their equivalent.
Yeah, I know, I'm joking around.
Okay.
But that was not the only Zet-related thing, because of course Zet's face actor was there, as well as the face actor for Ultraman Ace, because Ultraman Ace is having a big anniversary, and they did a little like stage play thing for the live audience, which involved them doing their transformations together, and it's a cool little clip if you haven't seen it. I'll have it linked down with all the other news links in the video description. And it's just fun to see that little connection being kept up there.
Yeah, because Ace was like a pretty, not big part, but like he did play a role in Zet, like character, like his.
I mean, Zet specifically transforms into Beta Smash, which uses Ace as one of the medals.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all there is to say on that. There was a little announcement at the end of it, which we all kind of predicted would happen, and like I'm glad let me just go ahead and say, Ultraman Decker Final Journey to Beyond will be streaming on Ultraman Connection when it releases in Japan. Which, yay! I'm glad it's getting a Western release still, but I really was pulling for a Fathom event.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm sorry, I'm eating chips, but like the thing is, like, Fathom Events just did a Shin Ultraman. And this movie comes out in February, and the Shin Ultraman one happens in January. I think, like, it would just either be, like, just too much Ultraman, Like, there's never enough Ultraman, but to the Fathom Events people.
Fair enough. Though, like, you want to promote the main Ultraman. I don't know. It's getting into fucking nitty-gritty bullshit I don't need to be talking about on this show. Let's move on to some toy news. Hey, you like model kits? You like building shit? Figurise Standard Ultraman Decker Flash Type got announced, and it sure looks like a Figurise Standard. It's an SH Figuarts that is big, and you build it yourself. I'm not a fan of these, but it's cool that it's happening.
I love how it looks. I love how it comes with Decker's really cool sword. I want to see how like a Figurise Standard is built before I invest. Like, you know,
I think it's interesting that like they've got specific little pieces that move out of the way to make the neck and the shoulders articulate better.
Yeah. Again, like I'll explain this when we get into like the old stuff and toys part of the show. But I did recently bought like a buildable, like build-ish-able Toku figure, so I'm kind of like interested in like I just need to see how it's.
All right, well, let's move into Kamen Rider news now because we got a bunch of details on the upcoming Discoteck Kamen Rider Black Blu-ray, basically outlining everything you're going to get with the show. So I'm just going to run these down real quick. First of all, the show has a nice HD remaster. Much like Gavin, some of the effect shots were done on tape and have a rougher look. But they do improve as the show goes on. When remastered in Japan, tweaks were made to avoid epileptic seizures. So basically a lot of the strobing was taken out. The entire show has brand new English subtitles. Extras for Black are extensive and include This Is Black, an extended vintage behind-the-scenes special, which I think was like a kind of a preview special that they aired the week before it started airing in Japan. I could be wrong about that, but like that's what I remember when I saw that listed on my drama list. There's a free part cast and crew reunion chat that ends up running more than 2 hours.
Yeah, I think that was included in the previous like Japan only Black Blu-ray. Like that's still good to have here.
Yeah. They have some of the original promos for the show, a photo gallery, the US Blu-ray trailer, and an hour-long recap special that looks to feature Shotaro Ishinomori?
I think this was like the in-between between Black and RX, like one of those things.
There will also be a new historical essay written by Mock Dent. There's going to be a vintage clip of the show that will activate the modern DX King stone belt collectible. I think that's the TV one that they just announced. And there's a secret 1 minute long bonus feature, which they're not going to reveal what that is until the Blu-ray is out. So very interesting. Seems like a pretty extensive and worthwhile release. I have not pre-ordered it yet, and honestly, I'm probably not going to, just because the last few months have made me so gun-shy about pre-orders in general, but I do want to get it as soon as it's out.
Yeah, like, it comes out on my birthday month. Same month as the Ryuki Blu-ray, so I'm like, I gotta get some pre-orders out. I gotta get some money, you know? Gotta get money, get money.
Get money.
Yeah, okay, now, first off, this is like the most extras we've seen for a Toei Tokusatsu show on home video in the West ever. Like, the previous like record holder for that was Gavon, and that was like a few months ago by Discoteck. So it's like we already got that record beat.
Discoteck is good at what they do, apparently.
They are very good. They do like a lot of good animation. Really good. But like, as for what the minute-long thing is, here's my guess. A minute-long preview for Black RX.
Ooh. It's just the Black RX Blue opening subbed?
Either that or like what they did with Black, with a Black and then with a release date. Say, go get it like at that point, you know?
Yeah, and in the menu it just says like coming soon.
Yeah, or just like the menu like option, because like with the God on Blu-ray, all the extras were on the last day. So it could just that could be set as like next RX or something cheap. Like,
well, here's hoping.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty excited about that, and I know your boy Speed Racer Flubber would be much more hype about that than regular Black.
Yeah. God bless. But yeah, I'm very excited.
Shout out to Speed Racer Flubber. Come on the channel.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for this. Like, it's just like, man, I know Shout Factory isn't really known for bonus features, but you got competition now. You know, competition.
Yeah,
you gotta step it up.
Competition breeds innovation.
That's fun.
But that is not all in the world of Kamen Rider news, especially Showa Kamen Rider news, because I actually skipped over this by mistake. SH Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou Riderman has official images and release information, and this thing looks just as beautiful as it did at Tamashii Nations. I really like the way this thing looks. There is one glaring little problem with it, though, which is that they kind of sculpted him to have his mouth slightly open, so there's just like a black line in the middle of his lips. And it looks a little goofy in some of the shots.
Yeah, it looks like he's very concerned, which I guess fits Riderman.
Mm-hmm. But overall, he does look really good. It's a whole new sculpt. I love that the rope arm is an actual piece of rope. And the ascot actually being cloth. I don't know if they've done that on previous Showa and Choku Seihous, but that's a really cool detail. And that's going to run you about $64 USD. Not too bad for Figuarts.
Yeah, I just need to watch so I know who the hell Rider.
Same here. But moving into the Heisei era and writers we do know, Shinkocchou Seihou Kamen Rider Birth got his official images and release info.
My boy!
This looks so freaking good.
I love Birth.
Like, I've always been of the opinion that they actually did a pretty good job on the original Birth Figuarts, but good lord, does this one look good.
Yeah. And especially because I never owned a Birth. Like, I'm looking at this. Ooh, maybe, you know?
I especially love that, like, unlike the original Figuarts, where, like, the prototype and the regular one were two separate releases, they're just giving you the head for the prototype version. So you can have this be whichever version of Birth you want. It can be Akira or it can be Goto.
Yeah. And, like, that's good, and it's, like, surprisingly Bandai not being money grubby for once.
Mm-hmm. Also, the hand that just has a metal sculpted in it is a really cool touch.
Yeah, God, I love Birth, so I'm just like geeking out over it.
Yeah, very, very tempting. And it's gonna run you the same price as Riderman. Yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and jump back into Figurise for a second, because Decker wasn't the only Figurise that got announced this week. Kamen Rider Wizard Flame Style is coming to Figurise Standard. And I may not be a big fan of model kit figures go, but as they go, this is a pretty good looking one. I of course love Wizard's base suit, and I think they did a pretty good job of replicating it here, except they made the mistake that the first Figuarts did of making the skirt plastic. It should always be cloth with a wire in it for posing. They have a just standing there skirt, and they have an action skirt, which in concept is a good idea, but it's kind of looks awkward in all but a few select poses I've seen with the original Figuarts, I should say. And I imagine it's going to be the same thing here. But if you just want a good-looking wizard that you can build and have on your little shelf of Figurise guys, then I guess this will be a good enough choice. And hey, Buster, if you want to get a look at how Figurises go together, there's a little shot of Wizard's arm and chest all in parts at the bottom of this.
Yeah. I hope it comes with instruction. I still need to see. I need to see the like YouTube unboxing. Also, surprisingly, they haven't done Gaimer Drive in the Figurise format. Every other Heisei Rider minus Kiva's been done, but not Gaimer Drive, even though they're really popular shows.
Interesting. By the way, I should have said this and Decker are going to run you $30 USD.
Yeah. And like maybe you'll find them at a Barnes and Noble.
And we have our final Figuarts announcement for the week, which is SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Buffa Zombie has beautiful. Been announced. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the shade of purple they chose. It looks just a little bit shinier than it does in the show, which bothers me. But other than that, the sculpt is great, the articulation looks really good, and a lot of the little details. Like, I'm surprised there's as much paint as there is on the raise buckle.
Yeah, it's just it's so beautiful. Like I might be tempted, but I kind of need to see where Buffa goes in the show first, like, fully commit. You know.
Well, as far if this
But,
week's
whoa,
episode
whoa.
is any
It
indication,
doesn't count. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. We'll explain why.
Freak shows go nowhere.
I'll get to my rant about that later.
No, it looks really good, and it's going to be about $60 USD. So get it if you want it. But that's not our only Geats news this week. There was also a bit of Geats suit news, which is on the cover of some magazine. I don't know if it's Televikun or another one. They revealed what Geats Kuga form would look like, and looks about as you would imagine. It's one of the lesser raised buckles that's kind of painted like Kuga's chest armor.
I think we already covered Hoku.
I could have sworn that was some other writer. I thought that was like Ryuki or somebody.
It was like Ryuki Kiva, but also Kuga was like 1 week. I don't know. Let's move on to bitching about Premium Bandai.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay, can I complain about this? Because I know you've been taking the rants, but I also got beef of this.
Yeah, so the DX Kamen Rider Geats ID Core set was announced as a Premium Bandai exclusive of Revice, Genpen, Dapan, Buffa's Broken, and I forget what his name, Shiroe, Mary. Just all of them, all of the bitches, all of their ID cores, and Buffa's Broken ID core, and the other 2 Broken ID cores. They're all going to be in a nice Premium Bandai set that's also getting a Team Rider release.
Okay, the ID cores, nothing. They unlock no extra sounds. Why are we locking them behind Premium Bandai?
It really makes no sense.
Like, this is such a cool idea to like customize your belt. But you're making them so inaccessible that it's just becoming an annoying thing, you know? It's just, what's the point?
Like, I forget who said it, but there was someone in your server that pointed out to me the other day, like, Bandai could make so much fucking money if they just put these in Gashapon machines.
Legit, they're like perfect Gashapon toys. Like, one time I went to a convention and I just got like a ride watch from a Gashapon machine. Just do that with like the frickin' ID cores, and it would just be like a nice simple thing, you know, to customize your belt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would still be annoying, but also more like feasible than the frickin' Premium Bandai shit they keep pulling. I'm so tired of it.
And on top of that, you know, hey, Team Rider, real cool that you're putting this out for the fans in the US. Could you put out the fucking show too?
Oh, we already beat that dead horse.
Yeah, I just thought I'd give it a little shout out there.
Yeah. Anyway, what's Kino?
Yeah, let's talk about, we got a new promotional still for Shin Kamen Rider, which is a callback to a freaking promotional campaign that was done with the henchman suits for 1971 of them answering a telephone because phone services were a new thing in Japan at that time. So apparently, I can't tell if this is just for this promotional still based on the tweet or if this is actually going to be a thing in the movie. But we get a nice little cool detailed photo that gives us a good look at the new Spider Kaijin from Shin Kamen Rider answering a telephone.
It looks sexy. Moving on. I
love that he's just wearing plain ass sneakers.
I think like a lot of the design philosophy for Shin Kamen Rider is just taking these like creative suits and just putting fancy clothes on them, and I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Sentai news?
Yeah, we got a little bit of Sentai news this week. First off, the Shogoken modeling project Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger Ninja Man got a whole bunch of official images as well as pre-order information. This thing looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, my only complaint, and I'm not even sure if it's a complaint, is like the head's a bit small, but even then it looks a little bit, it fits Ninja Man because he's a funny guy, you know?
Yeah, but like the articulation on this, like, again, I'm not a huge fan of model kits, but I do realize they have their advantages over the regular toys, like all the extra joints you can get in with those little parts. Specifically, this thing's gonna be able to reach back and draw its own sword.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a Sentai toy be able to do that. Because, like, most of the Figuarts we've gotten so far don't actually have sword holsters.
Yeah, it's this thing, like, the articulation on it is nuts. It also includes a little fire, I think it'll include a little fire, like, display for the helmet, super cool.
Mm-hmm. It just looks like an incredible release, like, as these things go. I don't think I'll be getting it, at least not anytime soon, but, like, if you're at all a fan of Ninja Man's design, this should definitely be on your radar.
Yeah.
But we do also have some current Sentai news in the fact that yesterday we got a new trailer for Ninpu Sentai Hurricaneger with Donbros, which is a lot of more of the same, just now we kind of get a few extra shots and a little hint that this might be about Haruka, or what's her freaking name?
Haruka? You got it first.
Okay, I was right. Again, fucking cozy and sleepy. But it seems to be kind of about her trying to write the Ultimate Ninja manga, and that leading to shenanigans and possibly Cafe Dombra being destroyed.
For the 5th time this that poor set. But yeah, this is super cool. I might start watching Hurricaneger this week so I can know what the hell a lot of the references are. But so we'll see. I'll talk about that more when we get to old stuff and toys. But like, I'm working on a specific project with Toku, but like later. But this looks super fun. Don Brothers is a fun time. Hurricaneger looks like a fun time. It's a fun times all around. Fun times colliding with each other. Whoa! You know?
We'll be watching it and discussing it as soon as it gets subbed.
It comes out the same day as the new episode. Yeah, double dose of It's a Don Brothers Christmas. It truly is.
Oh my god.
Speaking of Vac being pissed off, Operation Overdrive has completed its YouTube airing, and now you can watch Power Rangers seasons 1 through 16 up to Jungle Fury on YouTube. That's pretty amazing.
Hooray!
Yeah, they're gonna start RPM next week, so that's fun for me.
Yeah, RPM, I am legitimately excited that fresh people will get exposed to it, hopefully.
Yeah.
But, like...
I know, I remember talking about this, like, in between when Netflix removed the episodes, but before, like, they start uploading them to YouTube, someone's like, oh, where do I start with Power Rangers? And I'm like, oh, RPM. And I was really on an RPM kick at the time. Honestly, like, I still think it's one of my favorite shows, but I've started to recommend it less to newcomers, because it's very much not a deconstruction, but more so, like, this is the atypical masterpiece of the, you know?
RPM is not a good first season. It's a great, like, I'm into it and I want the good shit now season, but, like, if I were going to recommend somebody who's never watched Power Rangers before their first season, I would probably give them either Time Force, Dino Thunder, or Dino Charge.
I would not give anyone Time Force. No, not because it's good or bad, I just don't want to make another, like, Time Force. I'm sorry. We have enough of those in the world.
I mean, Time Force is good, and it requires very little knowledge of other seasons. So.
True.
But, yeah, if you want to watch some mid-ass content, I guess go watch Operation Overdrive on YouTube.
It was my first season of Power Rangers, but not the first one I finished. That would be Jungle.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss.
Look, it was the Once a Ranger episode. That's one of the better episodes.
It is the only remotely tolerable episode, and it's not even wholly tolerable.
This guy, am I right? Anyway, freaking blab about Lightning Collection.
Okay, so something I've been kind of quietly ignoring on this show is with a lot of the recent Lightning Collection releases, there's been a lot of QC issues, a lot of figures that have been missing parts or have had the wrong parts on them, similar to the kind of debacle that was the Ninjetti Ranger releases, and a lot of people have been just going like, look at this shit, what the hell is going on, Hasbro, you fucking dropped off, and I was very much like, yeah, that looks bad, but I didn't want to just come on and do a rant about it without having any exact, like, information to point towards other than photos of fucked up looking toys, because, like, we didn't exactly know the metrics of how much this was happening. There was no way to tell, except that, like, friggin' Josh, Lightning Fig PR, Living Ranger Key, Toku Topics man, was retweeting every goddamn one that got sent to him. That being said, on the latest episode of his show Lightning Storm, he finally kind of addressed this and cleared up, like, why this is probably happening which is apparently somebody figured out that the QC issues, which started with the Ninjetti Rangers, you can directly trace back to Hasbro entirely moving production of the Lightning Collection to one of their factories in Vietnam. Right when that happened, that's when the tape on a lot of the boxes started getting put in a different way, and there was a certain production stamp that changed. And that's right when all of the weird packaging errors and whatnot started happening. And actually right now Hasbro has, I forget what website it's on, but on one of those like legit big boy hiring sites, there is an ad for a quality control person at Hasbro's Vietnam factory. And it's entirely possible that Hasbro knows about all this and they're trying to get someone so they can fix it. But I mean, like, that's a job that requires somebody either already living in or being willing to move to Vietnam. So who knows how long it's going to take to make that happen.
I mean, like, a lot of Hasbro figures have had quality control issues, either due to, like, socio-economic factors or the frickin' pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of, like, a thing I expect. Like...
I mean, they moved production to a new factory, and they didn't have anybody there to, like, smooth over the transition due to the pandemic. So I think, like, it's very annoying that this stuff is happening, but it's also, like, you can't really get too mad at it just due to the economics of everything. But also I would warn everybody, like, even if like this position advertisement disappears tomorrow, don't expect the QC issues to get solved overnight. I would be willing to bet that everything that's announced or up for pre-order right now, or even in the next couple months, is still going to have some QC issues here and there, because that stuff is all in production right now. And until they can get somebody in to start fixing shit, it's gonna persist and probably just clear up little by little.
Yeah, I mean, like, with most Power Rangers Lightning Collection stuff, I usually, like, wait. Like, I don't buy much, but, like, if I'm, like, interested in the figure, I usually wait to see, like, reviews or, like, what it looks like for other people to, like, then decide. It's more.
And I mean, like, I'm fairly behind on the Lightning Collection myself, but I will say, like, all these persistent QC issues have kind of put me in a mood of, like, okay, until we have a firm indicator that these issues have been resolved, like they've hired the QC person that they're looking for, I'm probably gonna be buying most of my newer Lightning Collection stuff loose.
Yeah, or just loose, or like in person. Just so to like.
Well, you can't even say that with
plastic.
the newer plastic-free stuff, because you can't see what's wrong with it if something's wrong with it.
Oh yeah.
And like the freaking Izzies and Time Force Blues that have been arriving just straight up broken.
Anyway, can we talk about the good Power Rangers toy line?
Fuck you.
I just like the basic toy line. It usually barely has any issue. Like, the only issue we've had with the Dino Fury toy line was at the very beginning with, like, Blue's helmet.
Can I talk about the fucking article before you go on your rant?
Okay.
We got 2 new figures announced for the Power Rangers Dino Fury basic toy line, that being Cosmic Armor Green Ranger and Smash Armor Pink Ranger. Yeah, these look pretty dang good. I'm not a fan of the way the armors look on suits. I always think it looks slightly tacky and just weird. But as they go, I will say Cosmic Armor Green actually looks kind of good. The purple, the shade of purple actually kind of complements the green of her suit fairly well. But I'm not super into basic figures. I'm not super into these looks, so I probably won't be getting these, but they are available right now for $12 a piece on Amazon, and apparently they're already in stock because Living Ranger Key got them today.
Yeah, I mean, I already got a green, so I probably won't pick up these. Nice. I kind of made a conspiracy theory that the main reason Cosmic Fury is happening is just because of how slow the Dino Fury stuff is going. But I think that, again, that's just a dumb conspiracy theory that I'm like, maybe it's like just me being dumb, you know? don't take it as fact, please. Like, it probably could have been a contributor, like, oh, we want to sell more of the Dino Fury toys we have in development, you know? Which is fine. I just kind of, like, I kind of want to see the Cosmic Fury toys already. probably get it with the first trailer. Here are the toy listings. Go nuts! And this is also like the first basic figures to use the plastic-free packaging, and it's the same one as the Thor: Love and Thunder style of packaging of just here's the box of the figure, and you don't see the figure. So I'm a bit worried about these shelf warming.
Yeah, they're getting the same treatment as For Love and Thunder, and really the same treatment as the Lightning Collection. It's just a slightly different graphic design.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Also, like something that a lot of people haven't mentioned, this is technically also part of a reissue of Void King and the Gold Ranger figure, where it's
because it's always 4-figure waves, and they're just repackaging, I think is the term.
Yeah,
the Super Armor Gold Ranger and Void King.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Void King. That's the only figure I really wanted from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't want Smash Armor?
Smash Armor wasn't. This is more of a Rhea Soldier thing, because like I know you said, oh, I like the episode where she debuted. She barely used this in the show. She mainly used this in Rhea Soldier. So...
Oh yeah, it was just in that one episode, but still, like, I made a tweet, is what Buster is referencing, saying like, oh hey, the power of good writing. I was for the split second I first saw these, I should clarify, I was slightly tempted to get Smash Armor Pink just because it's like, oh, I did like that episode where it debuted.
It was she used the flame armor, is the episode you were referring to, but whatever. And that already has a figure like red, and apparently you could already swap the armors with, so that's neat. I'm just kind of like looking forward to like, what are the rest of the Cosmic Fury suits gonna look like? Where are they gonna look like in motion? Where are they gonna look like in figure form? Will I have to buy a third Saitoh?
Are you fucking sure about that?
What?
I'm pretty sure there was an episode where she used the punch armor that was like significant and good. It wasn't
the episode you were thinking. It wasn't like the
How do you know what fucking episode I was thinking of, dude?
Because I made like some clips of it and I was hype over it. Here, I'm gonna show you the freaking whatever. We'll debate about this off mic. Talk about new releases. I'm supposed to talk about the new releases.
Yeah, fucking do your job, bitch.
All right, first let me pull up the image and just show you. This is the flame armor she had, and now let me go do my job. All right, Ultraman Decker, episode 22, the fall of Bazdo is how I read that. Yeah, Bazdo.
I mean, they say Bazdo or Bazdo. I don't. It's Bazdo.
Anyway, Peak Fiction episode. Let's go!
God damn it! You were just being hyperbolic as fuck this week. But yeah, no, this was really good. Like
directed
Koichi Sakamoto, my beloved. I'm so sorry, but like the visuals in this episode were legitimately better than anything in Trigger.
Yeah, oh man, like the freaking final battle they have. What's his name? The villain guy. I love him a lot, but I keep forgetting his name.
Agamas.
He's so like, first off, he's so charismatic, and we get a bit more depth to him. Like, oh, he lost his wife, and he's like trying to prevent that, and he freaking lost his dog too. What? Oh god, these stupid spears! I'm gonna beat him up. And it's like
he's a fucking evil Kryptonian.
Yeah, like the Superman parallels weren't enough. But like, yeah, and also he's using this. Like, I love that he's using the spears to defeat the spears. That's an interesting concept, and just shows like how far he's kind of gone, and how could he still be saved? Is he it's very interesting, and just that final battle with him and Decker. Oh, it was so good. It's so well directed, and it's like, God, it got me like, it was like, yeah, Decker's back, because like we've had like a few chill episodes, but now we're getting to like final arcs,
No, we had a few shit episodes. Now we're back to Kino.
They weren't that.
And I mean, like, that final battle is really good, but we shouldn't brush past the fact that like there's an awesome just characters talking to each other scene in this episode. Yeah. Like the whole first act is just the commander and Agamas in a room, and Agamas going like, hey, you guys are a big fucking problem for me. I'm gonna have to kill you all if you don't back down. And he's like, why? Why are you being such an asshole? Let us help you.
Yeah, it's like, it really shows the compassion that like science team and Ultraman, and that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. But no, that big fight where they bring in a Monster Mash and a Terra Phaser, and you have the frickin' out of suit fight that's happening at the same time, letting the face actors shine, and the crazy effects with like the tiny cars and shit, and the crane that's lifting things in the foreground. And all of it leads to finally, cat's out of the bag, somebody sees Decker power down.
Yeah. Who did? I think
it was Ryuman, the I can't believe it's not scientist man.
Yeah. He's cool. But yeah, so that we're probably going to deal a lot of consequences next episode. Because also Agamas is now amnesiac. Probably not for long, but that'll probably be some fun. Agamas's actor is so good. I love the wide range of emotions he's able to express in this one show, from like calm to kind of like standoffish to just now like full on evil mugging. And now just like confused and worried and sad. Just God, his actor's.
This guy, oh man, this guy.
Yeah, this guy.
I'm really hoping, because like they've been continuously building to, we need to save Agamas rather than beat him. Since we're like properly in the final arc now, there's only 3 episodes left. I'm gonna go ahead and predict that like next episode, as an amnesiac, they're gonna finally like get to an understanding with Agamas, and then he'll like either get his memories back at the end of the episode or in the middle of the episode after that and start being a dickhead for a few minutes, and then he'll go like, wait, no.
Yeah.
They helped me. They understand me now. We can work together. And then the actual finale will be him and Decker fighting the spear.
Yeah, it's gonna be like because Ultraman Ginga did a similar thing where it's like they had to redeem the guy who's in the mech. And that was great in Ultraman Ginga, and I kind of like how Decker's kind of made that its central focus, because that was only the first half of the kind of like, it was like half of the show, but then the other half was more Valky. I mean, that was still fine, but also a bit disappointing.
I'm real proud of Decker for pulling this out, honestly. Like they had a huge stumble there, and I was real worried the whole show was gonna shit the bed. But now that we're back to the main plot, like, oh, this is a real good show.
Yeah, very, very good. I love. Probably not my favorite Ultraman, but like a very solid beginner one. Just a very good.
Oh, definitely the same.
Yeah. Speaking of solid shows, Kamen Rider Geats, episode 15, Stratagem 6. What makes a Kamen?
It's fucking this was good.
Yeah!
This is fucking yes. This is good. I like Kamen Rider. Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, like freaking like I like how like Ace, we get more magnificent bastard shenanigans, because he freaking like put all these clues to remind him, hey, do this, do that, to just like when he forgot his memory, just so he could get back on top. It's like,
here's the thing, like that gave me such huge Doctor Who vibes, because it's like that is a brilliant thing that you wouldn't think of at first, and it's super impressive in the moment, but if you think about it for 2 seconds, it doesn't make any sense, because like why wouldn't Game Master like either go in there himself or send in a cleaning crew to like scrub his room of any traces of DGP shit? But also like that's not a huge deal, because it's a simple superhero action show, and it just works. And then like they didn't forget the shit I brought up next week of like, oh, that's a bit of a plot hole. No, it actually came back to bite Game Master in the ass that Geats wished to be able to play the fucking DGP for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with them for that. The moment Surumi walked out with the driver, I was like, oh my god, Yuya Takahashi.
Yeah, also, I just want to say, like, it's not as plot hole as you think, because he didn't directly mention it. It's just like, if you see a fight, do this, Like, he's very vague about what his, at least on the subtitles.
Okay, but like, if you send in a cleaning crew and they find that shit, they're gonna be like, oh, he's trying to remind himself about the DGP. Get rid of this.
Well, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure the Game Master was more hyper-fixated on, like, beating him physically than, like, thinking of, like, like, other strategies. Oh, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, still really, oh god, I love how, like, Boost Magnum is, like, his base form, and it's, like, always an event when we see it, That's and the fight stuff they do with it. Oh, we have to talk about Azuma, Michigan, or Buffa, frickin'
Buffa deaded.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, even though the next episode literally airs on Christmas, so, he's not dead. He'll come back.
Yeah, he didn't get flowers.
Yeah, well,
he's fine.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know everyone's like, oh, they ruined his character. No, he went out like, I hope this like initiates a where it's like, yeah, it's a bit cheesy to just do like the Kamen Rider quarter 1 character died, but then they come back in the third quarter. But also they're doing that because like he kind of like, I think this will lead to him because we've been slowly seeing a bit of growth, but he hasn't really had a massive growth in terms of like, oh, I hate Kamen Rider. You know, he's still like, he basically went out like a bitch is like what I want to say. Like, because like everyone.
So just think like everybody talking about character assassinations in this episode is a total fucking idiot because Buffa didn't like suddenly switch gears to being like, oh no, I fucking love you now, Geets, you're the best guy ever. He literally thought he was the only one who could save the world, and that he would also be doing a good thing by getting rid of the Kamen Riders. And then as soon as he realized he was dying, he went, oh shit, the fucking Tycoon and Nago can't do it themselves. Geets, you need to get back in the game.
Yeah.
Like this episode is called What Makes a Kamen Rider. And the simple fact of the matter is the big theme of this episode is the writers choosing, all the characters choosing to do what is best to continue to keep the world safe. Like even Game Master being like, fuck you Geets, I don't want you sniffing around my ass. As soon as it's like, oh, there's literally no choice, either put Geets back in or the world will end, he's like, all right, give him the fucking driver.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, I didn't really think about that till now, but like good shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like that's the same goes for Tycoon and Nago, because like people were saying like, oh, them questioning if they beat the game and saying that they straight up can't do it is like flanderizing their characters, and no, it's in keeping with their characters because they're the real grounded people. They're the ones who are very aware that like we can be good at this, but we're not good enough to be the best yet. And we need somebody to help us get there. We need that teamwork. We need that friendship. And the only way we're going to have it is if Geets is in the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is like leading to like their power-up arcs where they get like, you know, the mid-season super forms. And then they'll be like...
I mean, in the preview for next week, there's a fight between Geets and Tycoon, both using Twin Command.
Yeah. Which, yeah, basically, did they... Because we already know the premise, but did they like set it up? I forgot if they set it up here.
Yeah, because there's a moment where
Glare.
After Geets beats all the monsters, and he's like, all right, the world should reset now. Wait, why isn't it resetting? Game Master comes and goes, yeah, we're doing a special extra round. And you see he's also made the offer to Nago and Tycoon. And in the preview, they say next week there's going to be a fox hunt.
Yeah. Also, because I like talking about the episode numberings, next episode is called Stratagem IR. What the hell does that mean? We haven't had an IR episode. We've had F episodes, but not IR episodes. I'm scared.
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just another fan, because it's like, oh, it's an extra mission like that. But will that lead to an F episode? Is this like a new thing they're trying where it's like the IR episodes will lead to the F episode? I
would think if it was an extra mission, it would be Stratagem E. I think this is an entirely new thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like, we might be abandoning the arc format they've been going with, because maybe the ending of next week's episode might lead to something of, like, the DGP in its current form can't continue.
Yeah, that's gonna be... Because, like, even though, like, I kind of was... I think I'm okay with, like, if they have to leave the GGP, I think I'm okay with that right now, because they've kind of... not exhausted it, but we've explored it enough, you know? They've
gotten to a point where they're starting to outgrow that format.
And like, as much as I wouldn't like that, you know what? Fine. Maybe they'll do a new for or.
I mean, like, they can only string us along for so long with the weird mystery box bullshit of like, clearly Game Master has some kind of communication with the guy who's making the Jamato, but that guy is clearly very earnest about wanting to destroy the world. And also there's another guy who wants Geets to keep winning. Yeah, and he has a line in this episode called, says, "That's realism." Are they going to pull an Ultraman Rube and make him like a deconstruction of Kamen Rider fanboys? Because I think that would be really interesting. But like... And I mean, on top of that, we still don't know what's going on with Nago's dad. Yeah, I mean, I think he's just Nago's dad. I think we're gonna find out he's a fucker. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, here's what I would really like to happen next week. Tycoon does actually beat Geets in the fox hunt, but there's some kind of fuckery way he does it that lets Geets survive, and because Tycoon wins, all the riders get revived. And then in the next couple episodes, Nago's dad does some fucker shit and maybe even becomes a Kamen Rider. And the bodyguards go like, we were hired to protect her. And we finally get to see them transform.
That'll be fun. I'm up for that. You know, yeah, that sounds cool. But you're not, you Takahashi. Get out of the writer's room.
I'm not a creative genius of our time.
Yeah.
At least not in the realm of Tokusatsu. Not yet.
Except rewriting Mega Force. Anyway, Donbros?
Sure.
Yeah, Avatar Sentai Donbros, episode 41. Santa's Close Calls. This was a fun one.
This is the best episode of Donbros in weeks.
Screw you! We just had a bigger episode last week. Screw you.
No, I get like I try and deconstruct it as best as I can for this show, but I get very tired of Inoue's vague bombastic bullshit. So to have a straight up Christmas episode that just does the classic Christmas story, Christmas special story very, very well, and it's still like got Inoue-isms in it. Oh, that made me so happy.
I mean, it was cute, but also I'm never likely to live this down.
What am I gonna live down? It's a good fucking episode.
It is, but saying it's better than the banger weeks we've just had? Huh?
Dude, you gotta understand, I don't typically like Inoue. He needs to be on a fucking leash, and it feels like they put him on the leash of do a Christmas episode, and it turned out really well.
Anyway, yeah.
This is... Do I need to remind you about the Kamen Rider novels this man has written?
Okay, those are completely... main show stuff. Side content is a completely different story. I like main show, you know what? Okay. What did you like about this episode? What happened?
I like the whole idea of fucking the Cerebrans having to learn the true meaning of Christmas, and Santa himself having to relearn it, and like actually doing some up-to-date shit and commentary on how like weird and esoteric the changing tastes of kids are, and how it must be hard for Santa to keep up with that while still maintaining the sort of like bizarre bombastic flavor that is Donbros. Like the whole sequence where Santa's like, oh, this kid wants a video game, I'm gonna get him the perfect video game. Oh, he wants a big brother now, I'm just gonna be his big brother for the day, and then he ends up getting fucking arrested.
What?
Like that would only happen in Donbros. But it's so perfect, it's hilarious, and it makes perfect sense as a bit of commentary on like Santa is an old-fashioned idea, and how do you keep that idea current in a way that like I've seen a lot of like newer Christmas media that deals with Santa as an actual person try to do, but legitimately better. This one episode of... Here's my fucking hot take for the week. This one episode of Avatar Sentai Donbros is better than the entirety of the Disney Plus Tim Allen Santa Claus show.
I mean, that's not a hot take. That's just common sense, mate.
I mean, that show is doing like the same ideas, and this is doing them 10 times better is my fucking point.
Yeah, good, funny episode. I liked when Dinu brother transformed into the Black Kaku Ranger, and used...
Oh man, that fucking scene where it's like you have this brief moment of Tsubasa, my dude, have you been training?
Yeah.
You're not just fucking letting this shit happen to you. You're actually trying to get a plan together. Holy crap! Character development, it's stuck.
Yeah, I mean, character development sticks more than you think. But yeah, that was really cool. Like a little up to date. Like here's a progress report on like
And then like the fucking Taro's autistic yet wholesome nature, like resurfacing for the first time in weeks, of him just going up to Santa and being like, "Hey, a weird thing happened between us when I was a kid." A reference to his childhood. When was the last time we got that? And him going like, ever since then, even though that was like you doing something bad to me, I agreed to do it because it was a good thing for the rest of the world, because I'm a Red Ranger and a real fucking Japanese hero. And that affected me in that I have been fucking stockpiling toys and gifts for all the children of the world in the event that you should ever need me again. So here, go be Santa. That was such a great ending.
Yeah, very badass. And also like the little Christmas bells will like "Don't Boo Don Brothers" plays. Oh, it's so hype.
Having the ending lead in playing while they're doing like the traditional, and like they even lampshade it, doing the traditional Santa flies off into the night and wishes everybody a Merry Christmas while the cast looks on from around the city. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was fucking fantastic. Like I've got a video about Tokusatsu Christmas episodes coming out this week, and I wrote it way before this aired, but if I hadn't, God, this might break the top 5 for me.
Not number 1?
Not number... I Christmas themed Sentai suit, my dude.
Fair. Yeah, fair. There weren't any Don Christmas.
Which is probably my one little nitpick about it, is like, there's an actual Christmas Avataro gear, and they didn't do anything with that this episode, but like, that's an Inoue-ism.
Not even an Inoue-ism. That's just like, some shows use it, some shows don't, you know?
But I always prefer when they do.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, but banger week of episodes. It's been a very hype Christmas. Decker get into the final bits, having some sad moments, and Don Brothers being Don Brothers. What more can you ask? Why not toys and freaking old episodes and shows? Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of Don Brothers, I decided they're not gonna make a change hero Don Murasame. I bought the Udo.
How is
okay,
that?
so this Udos, you have to sticker them and build them together. Now, really, Udos come in 2 sets. You have the top set, and you have the bottom, like the little legs. And then you sticker both of them. While my stickering, because I am not really good at stickering, it's kind of off. I'm pretty proud of how this came out, and I'm glad to have a Murasame, you know? And I probably will give the sword to Inu Brother for just because that'd be cute. Yeah, it's basically like similar Change Hero articulation, a bit fancier than Change Hero, but like.
Is it like the same size?
Yeah, same size. It like fits in. It's a bit. I'm comparing it to my Don Goku, and yeah, it's same size. It's literally the same size. So it's like Udos fit really well with Change. If you are curious.
Yeah, I'm looking at photos of it right now, and because I don't think we talked about this in news ever.
Yeah.
I don't remember it getting announced, but like, it's hard to keep up with those kind of lines. I think the only complaint I could have about it is like the main chest emblem sticker looks like it's a slightly lighter purple than the rest of the actual plastic. Hello?
Sorry about that. Just had a little interruption. But like, anyway, yeah, Don Murasame, good.
Yeah, I'm looking at the suit, and
my stickering is really
it
off.
doesn't look that way on the suit. So I think that is an actual fault with the figure, but like not the end of the world.
My stickering is a bit off, but I think fine. Like for like, I get to make my own Don Murasame in a set. That's neat for how imperfect it might be.
Yeah.
And then I freaking want to finish Grand Caesar. I'm sorry to report
that
the show's kind of mid.
Okay.
I hate myself because I want it to be a big champion, but it feels very Showa, but not in like doesn't have a lot of the redeem. It's more like there's not really like a grand theme or like a big like the characters, despite there being like 12 main characters and a few extra side characters like scientists. None of them really stuck out to me, and the suits and action are really cool, but like I don't really care about a lot of the characters. It feels like Hero Ranger did it better, is the way I'm gonna like. It feels like they want to like make it grounded, but I think the big appeal of having a big cast is you have all these big personalities. So it's a bit weird to have that. I don't know. It's kind of disappointing, and I hope Just the Riser is better. Just the Riser only has 3 main heroes to start with, so I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like you're real foggy on this show. Like you need to kind of work your thoughts out via a script.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna do. But also, I'm more disappointed. It's like I wanted to like it, didn't like it. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I just like again. I'm going through the whole Star God trilogy. I pray to God Just the Riser's better because that's the show I'm most interested in out of all 3 Star God shows. And then Caesar X could also be interesting because actually they had a similar Ultraman Nexus. The last arc got cut thing, so we'll see. Talk about your adventures with more adventures with Eno. You're like more than halfway through Jetman. How we feel?
Yeah, I watched Jetman episodes 13 through 27 this week, and this is good. I mean, like that's the thing. It's like I said earlier. I like Inoue when he's on a leash, and the thing people tend to forget. People tend to just say like, "Oh, this was Inoue's first show, his first big show where he was in charge, and it was really good. So that means Inoue is really good by proxy. There's like 3 other writers sharing the head writer position with him on this show, and probably a lot of people going like, hey, you're a new guy, don't shake it up too much, but also let's try some new things. And like that all gels together really well to make a really solid Sentai. I love the formatting of like 2 plot focused episodes and then 2 one-offs, and that kind of lather, rinse, repeat they have. Even recently, where there's been a bit of a through line, like I just got past the Semi-Maru arc, and like that runs through all of those episodes. There's just like constant reminders of, hey, Semi-Maru is growing, he's gonna be a problem soon. But like it's not in your face. It's there. The episodes still work as one-offs when they're doing that. And the continued development of the Jetmen themselves is really interesting. I really like how things are starting have just completely boiled over actually between Guy and Ryu and Kaori. And I was wrong last week. Raita is not just buds with Kaori. He is romantically interested in her, but he's also like a defeatist about it. He's like, I can't possibly compete with Guy or Ryu, so I'm just gonna be her friend, and I'm gonna make myself okay with that, no matter how hard it is. Which is an interesting characterization in and of itself, even though it does mean all our male heroes are just focused on trying to get inside one of the female heroes' pants. Meanwhile, Akko's standing off to the side, barely getting any focus or characterization or development except to like be the butt of jokes about teenage girls. Akko's been like my biggest disappointment with Jetman, I gotta admit. Like, even though the last plot-focused episode I watched really did revolve around her, it literally starts with a guy her age coming from the dimension the Vyram just destroyed, fucking looking up her skirt, and that being the start of them falling in love.
Yeah, that was
and like I'm supposed to feel bad for this guy and sad for her that he dies, and I'm like, no, this guy was a shithead.
Yeah. Also, that guy is actually the Blue Zhu Ranger.
That's hilarious because that character is named Dan, and the character he plays in this show is named Dan.
It's be funny.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even recognize him too, and I've seen all of Jew Rangers, so.
Yeah, shows kind of how forgettable that is,
I do like the new robot they introduced, Jet Garuda.
Yeah, awesome.
It was cool seeing a classic version of 2 robots combining. Because like I've never seen anything like that pre-Jew Ranger. And I'm not sure if this was the first time 2 separate robots combined together, but it looked neat. It was fun seeing those classic kind of events. I love that when fucking Jet Icarus gets all fucked up, the Jetmen themselves have to like put on workman uniforms and fix it. It doesn't get fixed off screen. There's not a support staff doing that like in Go Busters. It is literally just us and the commander. We have to roll up our sleeves and do this ourselves. And there's like a moment where Guy is like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm gonna get out of here and go smoke and hang out with ladies in bunny girl costumes. And I'm like, Guy, you bastard, you shithead. I love you. So yeah, Jetman's good. I like it. I will hopefully finish it soon.
Epic. Let's wrap up because I need to talk to people quick. So,
Okay, well, Buster, why don't you plug your shit?
I'm Buster Corp, or not Buster Corp anymore. It's True Buster. Find me at the True Buster YouTube channel to regain all my subs. I have new videos coming out in 2023, but you can view my best of backlog on the True Buster channel. You know, watch my 3-hour Heisei Kamen Rider retrospective. Yay! Also follow me on Tumblr and Twitter. You know where the links are.
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos about tokusatsu and other things. You can find me at youtube.com/thevacuuminator, and you're gonna want to get over there and subscribe this week, because this Friday I'll be releasing my top 10 tokusatsu Christmas episodes. It was written about 2 months ago, so it doesn't include any episodes from this year, But I feel it's a pretty solid ranking and a pretty good video overall that you'll want to check out. So definitely go ahead and head over there, subscribe, ring the bell in order to enable notifications. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the Vacuuminator, on Tumblr, tumblr.com, or thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. That URL is fucking weird. And on Instagram at _Vacuuminator for daily action figure photography. But folks, that is all for this week in Tokusatsu. We'll see you back here for whatever happens next week in Tokusatsu.